Hi, I'm Kamna and you're watching AppianLIVE Expert Cut. On today's special Appian World Edition, we've brought the experts to Miami to discuss all things industry events, trends, and everything else executives need to know. Today, I'm here with members of our financial services executive team. Can you introduce yourselves?
Hi, my name is Guy Metrick. I'm the Financial Services Industry Lead for Europe.
Hi, my name is Mike Hefner. I'm the Global Financial Services and Insurance Lead for Appian.
So today we're talking about the General Data Protection Regulation, which is GDPR. So first things first, in 60 seconds or less, can you explain what is GDPR?
It's a requirement, a regulatory requirement coming out of Europe that has really global implications. And significant penalties associated for getting the requirement wrong. But it's also an incredible opportunity.
Yeah, it's basically around consolidating a number of disparate laws in Europe and making sure that there's a common standard for data privacy for EU citizens. And what it's trying to do is rebalance the level of protection that citizens have with regards to how their data is used and for what purposes.
The GDPR is effective in EU and the UK, but can you tell me how this actually has global impact?
Well, it affects firms that have in their customer base citizens of those domiciles.
They have the idea of a data controller, which is an organization that owns data on individuals, and that's of a data processor as well. And that is an organization that might be separate from the data controller, but it is processing information on behalf of that data controller. These companies can be based anywhere in the world. They are impacted by this regulation if they are processing EU citizens' data. This legislation impacts every organization. You could be an organization with 250,000 people working for you, or you can be a single person operator. The legislation is still the same. You have to treat your customer data in very similar ways. It's something that you literally cannot avoid if you want to do business within the European Union.
Beyond data management, what is the role that technology can play in GDPR for things like compliance and auditing?
There are a number of elements that have been impacted by this new regulation. So there are a number of rights that citizens have. So for instance, the right to be forgotten. So if you are processing EU citizens' data and there is no legitimate reason other than the fact that it might be beneficial to your organization why you can be processing this data, then the citizen has the right to ask you to delete that data. In order to do that, clearly there has to come a request. You need to manage the process of capturing that request, understanding where and how that data is held, and then make a valid decision as to whether that is a legitimate request, because there are reasons why you might be holding a citizen's data that is to do with commercial interests or the fact that you're about to provide a product or service to that person. And therefore, a decision has to be made, and that complex process is something that Appian can work very well to provide not only the timelines and guidelines for it, but also the visibility of that decision and that process if at a later date that decision is challenged.
What is Appian doing to help our customers in regards to GDPR?
We're intensely focused on GDPR, so we have deployed in our Pillars and Apps strategy an app around GDPR, but we're also engaging with a partner ecosystem because they bring a lot of insight, knowledge, and strategy to the table as well. It's a very dynamic space, and we're right front and center.
So as you mentioned, the GDPR effective date is May 25th, which is just a few short weeks away. What is your top tip for financial institutions as they prepare for this regulation?
Think about this as an opportunity. Think about it as a journey. The rules have not been finalized yet. This will continue to evolve and change. And being able to adapt a technology strategy, a platform strategy that can continue to evolve as the rules evolve.
Solutions that might be appropriate for the 25th of May, the launch of the actual regulation, will need to be able to adapt and change. And I think that's something that the Appian platform is very strong at, its ability to iteratively evolve the capabilities to manage change effectively. I think that's a very powerful capability.
Great. Well, thank you guys so much for your time today. Enjoy the rest of your Appian world. This was AppianLIVE Expert Cut. Thanks for watching.